Hey, welcome to PCMag Live. I'm Max Eddy. This is Sascha Segan. We're going to run through the top tech news. We're going to take something cool off the shelf, and we're going to answer one of your reader questions. But first, we're going to talk about how Toyota is recalling 1.9 million Prius hybrids. 713,000 of these are going to be in the US alone, and this is all over a software glitch. Sascha, tell us more about this.
Yeah, I mean, I'm wondering when we are going to see the first software bug-caused traffic accident.
Yeah.
Because this is a large number of Priuses. Okay, so they were made between March 2009 and February 2014. About 1 million of them were sold in Japan, 713,000 in North America, another 130K in Europe. And what Toyota is saying is that in rare circumstances, the hybrid system may shut down while the vehicle is being driven, resulting in the loss of power and the vehicle coming to a stop. So imagine this happening like in the middle of I-85. You know, then what happens? Hopefully, you're aware enough that you can pull over to the side. But when are we going to start seeing software starting to cause car crashes? And even more scarily, when are we going to start seeing malware causing car crashes?
This is something that's been talked about quite a bit. We've seen a lot of car hacks online, and this kind of begs the question, why aren't we doing over-the-air updates for cars because of these software problems? And what you're saying is exactly the reason, because it just opens it up to so many more possibilities for attacks. So
yeah, I've seen, we've taken a look, for instance, at the in-car entertainment systems in some vehicles. Like Ford Sync, for instance, is based on a core that's several years old. And we've asked Ford, you know, why don't you update Sync more aggressively? And they say it's about security, because as soon as we create an infrastructure to feed updates down, that creates a security problem.
Yeah.
And so you wonder when somebody's gonna be able to hack a car in a negative way.
Well, speaking of unwanted updates, Firefox has announced that a future version of Firefox will include ads on your tab page. So when you first open up a tab in Firefox, you see a page with lots of websites on it. Some of those will be sponsored content made with deals from Firefox. And this is a pretty interesting move for this company, which has been so about openness and the beauty of the web.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, we live in a capitalist society that runs on money. And so Mozilla, to fund their wonderful open web, altruistic 1990s mentality, needs money. And up until now, most of that money has been coming from a $300 million a year deal with Google. Now that expires at the end of this year. And the last time it came up, Google only renewed it at the very last minute. So I think Mozilla is basically preparing to sell ads on their browser as a way to prepare what if this Google money goes away? Because at the end of the day, unfortunately, we're not a society that really does well supporting altruistic efforts.
And I was talking to one of our analysts, Michael Muchmore. He's been covering browsers for years, and he says he thinks this might actually not be a big deal at all, because you can just turn this feature off. On your tab screen, there's a little grid icon in the upper right-hand corner. You just click that, and all of these will disappear. Now, you won't see your most recent viewed web pages, but you also won't see these ads either. So this might not even be a big deal for users, but it definitely marks a change in how Firefox is dealing with its users. It's kind of sad. And finally today, we're going to talk about Flappy Birds again, because Flappy Birds just will not go away. The hit game that disappeared from the app stores a couple of days ago is now back.
It went away, but it's mutating. It's like metastasized. Is that how you pronounce it?
Maybe.
Okay.
And now it's back, but in malware form. So what's happening is that people, the attackers out there, are taking Angry Birds. Good Lord. Flappy Bird. They're taking Flappy Bird and they are packaging it with malware and they're loading it onto third-party app stores, and unsuspecting fools are downloading it.
Now, of course, this goes with our usual security comment of, if you are an Android user, never download anything from any store other than Google Play or Amazon.
Ever.
Because those are the two stores we know of that generally do semi-adequate checking against malware. And I'm making this face because Google Play is full of so much obviously pirated content, but they do a decent job checking against malware. And so, so Google Play, Amazon, that'll keep you pretty safe. And so you won't get the Flappy Bird malware, but you will get all of these ridiculous Flappy Bird clones that have popped up in like the past 48 hours. You've been playing them, right?
Yeah, I've been playing quite a few of them. My personal favorite of the moment, we actually have a list up on PCMag, so you can check out all the interesting ones. But my personal favorite, which is not on the list, is called Butterfly, where you play as a little stick of butter and you have to guide it through a post-apocalyptic, post-industrial landscape. landscape, I should say. But this malware is not to be trifled with. It'll actually cost you money because it sends nasty SMS messages. So again, stay off those third-party stores and make sure you read the permissions. The real Flappy Bird does not need to read your SMS messages, and frankly, no game should have to read your SMS messages. So enough of that. Let's go to a reader question. This was left on Facebook by Anne.
On YouTube.
On YouTube, excuse me, by Anne, who asks, I have a question about wireless pocket travel routers. Since you have to be in the spot that already has Wi-Fi for your pocket router to work, what are they for?
This question was kind of amusing to me because it shows how much we as a society now define the internet as Wi-Fi. The point of a wireless pocket travel router is if you are in a place that only has wired internet. Whoa, wired internet, that's a thing? Yes, it is.
So when you're traveling into the past, you might need this.
Actually, specifically, a lot of hotels have a wired internet connection on the hotel desk, and then they have a really crappy Wi-Fi network that's shared by a lot of people that is really slow and only reaches into part of your room. So what you can do with one of these pocket routers is, for instance, you can connect it to the desk wired connection, which is a much faster, more assured connection, and not have to deal with that wobbly, overloaded hotel Wi-Fi. And this goes for conventions and conferences too. It goes for a lot of other places where the Wi-Fi is really overcrowded, but you may be able to get access to an Ethernet cable. Mm-hmm. That's where the wireless pocket travel router comes in handy. So yeah, you have to think, where could I find wired internet that the Wi-Fi may not be so great? That's where I might need one of these routers. Well,
we have lots of reviews of pocket travel routers and lots of other routers on PCMag, so I hope that answered your question, Anne. And now we are going to finally come to our one cool thing, which I know Sasha's very excited about. What is this, Sascha?
This is the Nokia Lumia Icon for Verizon Wireless. Now, we have been hearing rumors about this phone for, it's got to be months now, and this is simply the finest Windows phone on the market, and probably one of the finest phones, period.
It looks great.
We have a 1080p 5-inch screen, we have a 20 megapixel camera, terrific Verizon LTE performance. Windows Phone now has a lot of the apps that were previously missing. It has Instagram, it has Spotify, it has Vine. So we finally have a Windows Phone that can really stand up against the top Android phones in the market on America's #1 carrier. So really, what's not to love here? Our review is going to be going up very soon. I can already tell you it looks like it's going to be a very positive review, and the only question is how positive. You should take a look at it. And if you're interested in a Windows Phone or a new phone on Verizon Wireless, definitely consider the Nokia Lumia Icon.
All right, thanks, Sascha. That's all for PCMag Live today. We'll see you tomorrow.